Hello everyone, welcome to a special E3 edition of the Lava Pool. I'm your host, Dr. Fidget, and we're going to be going around talking about all the crazy XY announcements. Joining us today, we have JTK.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo.
And what has been your biggest announcement from E3 so far? It doesn't have to just be Pokemon related.
That's a really tough question. I'm a big fan of the whole Sony Throwdown Xbox One fight, but that's not really an announcement. That's more of a entertainment spectacle. But I'm just going to say that anyways. It's been beautiful.
Especially since Sony didn't really announce that much other than we're not doing what Microsoft is doing. And we're a little bit cheaper, which good on them.
Yeah, but it got them a standing ovation, and now Microsoft is the ridicule of the internet, so...
Like, every system has had forever, and, like, that is the biggest thing that they push. Which is great.
It's beautiful.
Alright, also joining us, we have Dimsun.
Hello, everyone.
Dimsun, E3, favorite part so far?
I like how Xbox One is turning into an absolutely useless trash console. I like how they're like throwing themselves deeper and deeper into the pit with every announcement regarding that thing.
Yeah, well, yeah,
it's just me.
But games as a whole, like as the entire industry,
growing,
it's a bubble that has popped.
Yeah,
and it's going down, and they're trying to cling to any sort of anything, like TV, sports, and that might actually help them in the long run. If there is a long run.
I don't know. In terms of, like, game stuff, I like how Nintendo's still going strong, and I'm excited for Smash Bros. I'm excited that I don't have to buy a Wii U and I can play it on the 3DS I got.
Oh, seriously? That's gonna be out for the 3DS? Sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is the voice of Shiloh, of course.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's alright. Well, what's been your favorite thing from E3 so far?
I don't like Xbox. I hate it. I casually like PlayStation. Like, my brother's always had one, and I'll sometimes play it just kind of out of boredom, and I use it for Netflix, but I don't really like it. But my favorite thing has been that commercial from PlayStation where they're like, here's how you share games on PlayStation.
Adam Boyes is the man. It is so weird seeing him, like, get up on stage at a Sony press conference, because I mainly know him from whatever job he's working at, showing up at Giant Bomb and getting drunk. Like, on camera. Like, that's the guy I know. Or his live stream, like, driving down to E3 2 years ago. Like, this is just some crazy guy, and now he's big at Sony. Showing off, strutting around, making those crazy videos.
What's your favorite announcement of E3 so far, Sam?
Bayonetta's hair.
Really?
Like, have you seen that new haircut?
Yes, I have, and I was confused because I thought her hair was kind of like the source of her power.
Kind of. Like, basically her entire clothing is her hair, but still, that new haircut's awesome. But more seriously though, D4. The new Swery 65 game is going to be episodic. That man has his own unique brand of crazy and awesome, and giving him an episodic game series seems like I'm in 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
all right.
Pokemon.
Main topic, Pokemon.
Yeah. I missed almost everything because I was at work until just a few moments ago. So guys, what happened? Tell me. I need to know.
A lot of stuff happened.
A ton of stuff was announced for X and Y. Both what we assume to be in-game and out-of-game. Mostly in-game stuff, I think.
Yeah, there was a couple things that have ramifications on VGC, but we'll get to those as they come along. For those who weren't following all the hype, there was no sort of video stream of this event. Nintendo posted that they're gonna post a video summary from it, I think tomorrow morning, so which will probably be out by the time this podcast is edited. So we're working from tweets from...
Actually, let's start before that.
Oh, okay.
They had a trailer and a couple new announcements this morning.
Oh, yeah,
in
right.
the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, yes.
I completely forgot about that.
Yes.
We're recording this on Tuesday.
Can I?
Go for it.
All right.
Please.
What was announced today, I'm sure everyone that's actually listening to this podcast would know by now. The fairy type has been confirmed, to the outrage and the happiness of many different members of the community. I personally am very pleased with another counter to dragons. I like the competitive viability of it.
I'm sad for ice type.
I think ice types will still find their way. Heck, they might have been super effective against another type in fairy.
Is it?
No, well, we don't know. We don't know what fairy does. It might be.
Well, wasn't there that leak like a long time ago that said fairy type and claimed that it would be super effective against dragon?
Yeah, someone leaked a bunch of info to Pokebeach and Water Pokemon Master, and I believe the leak was that fairy would be strong and immune to dragon. So dragon effects would just do no damage, or dragon attacks. Wow, I can talk.
Dragon effects! Dragon effects!
And then, it would be weak to steel and poison. So,
Why
none of that's
steel?
been confirmed, but considering that the same leak also confirmed some of the stuff that we'll talk about a little bit later, it's probably very much likely that's what's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, I kind of want to know what it's strong to, as well. Like what it would deal super effective damage against.
I think
if it is
just
weak
dragon.
to poison, that's a huge boon for poison, because right now it's a solid defensive typing, but
it does nothing.
Has nothing going on offensively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 4 Pokemon that we know to have fairy thus far are Sylveon, Meryl. Meryl, Gardevoir, and Jigglypuff.
So do we think that Meryl is, like, the whole line is going to be fairy, or is it going to be like the first line where every type is a different
If the whole
one?
line is fairy, then Azumarill is now meta.
Yeah.
But what I want is its type to change every time it evolves. 'Cause it starts as a normal type, then turns into a fairy type, and then just a pure water type.
Well, water fairy and then water, but that would be kind of interesting, yeah.
I doubt they're gonna drop the...
Is it water fairy?
Yeah, it's water
fairy. It would
fairy.
be water fairy.
Never mind then.
I doubt they're gonna drop the fairy typing for Azumarill. So...
Because Azumarill's so cute.
Yeah. It's also
Cute.
It actually is kind of cute. Just different cute. I always thought Meryl was kind of tomboyish, and then Azumarill's kind of cute.
See, I'm used to thinking of Meryl as what was previously known as Peekaboo. So, just the fact that they made it actually exist and not call it Peekaboo just is a strike against it in my book.
Aww.
You guys are so old.
Poor Meryl.
Yeah.
I didn't play this game until I was 4, so I wouldn't have known anything about that.
I feel old.
This game didn't exist when I was 4.
Exactly.
When I was old, I was
on
collecting
silver
rocks.
when I was 4.
I
was
was
still playing Sonic. Back when it was still socially acceptable to play Sonic.
Oh, come on. We've all enjoyed
Generations wasn't that bad.
I enjoyed Sonic when I played it. I enjoyed playing a little bit of Unleashed, although forgive me for saying that I enjoyed playing Unleashed. I enjoyed Heroes, which is kind of sad, but it did happen.
Yeah, like I had bought every Sonic game up until 06, and like I was done long before 06 came out, and then it was just that steaming pile of garbage, and it was like, okay, I'm done.
Back on topic, wouldn't it be funny if Clefairy didn't get fairy type?
That would be so...
Hi, I'm Clefairy. What type are you? Normal. I'm normal. It's cool though, because Clefairy learns Meteor Mash, so it can still smash all those fairy types for stealing its type.
Yeah.
It would be beautiful. I really hope that happens now. I really hope.
That would make me sad, actually. Probably my favorite part of the whole fairy thing is Friend Guard Jigglypuff with fairy. Because Friend Guard is a legit ability, like it's played. outside of just like joke teams sometimes?
No,
It
so
is.
so I don't know if I ever told you guys this story. I was starting to tell it before we started recording, but I almost lost round 1 to a friend card Jigglypuff team.
Hey, don't throw it out the window. It's entirely possible that it could work.
It was intense. The only reason why I won was because last turn, Thundurus T's Thundurus missed, and I was able to kill
Thunderous Mists.
it. It was. I was like sitting there, and the person who was running the team, this was a joke team that Chalky came up with for his roommate. Lord Derpington is, I think, the online name he asked me to refer to him as. And I was just like, oh, this will be fine. It's just a joke team. I can do this. And then Jigglypuff just showed up, and I almost cried. Like, when that thunder missed, I think that I almost like kissed the ground. I was so happy because I just couldn't believe what was happening. It's a solid strategy. I will never underestimate Jigglypuff ever again.
Just keep Jigglypuff alive and the partner's suddenly more of a tank.
Exactly.
What could that do for Braylon?
Oh, dear God.
What actually, the new fairy type or old fairy type that I'm most excited about is Gardevoir. Depending on what the fairy type resistances are.
Depending on what it's super effective against.
Ally
Psychic,
switch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Psychic isn't that strong offensively in some situations.
Well, it's still the most used type in the metagame.
Yes, because the Pokemon that have it are
Cresselia.
good for other reasons.
Yeah. Cresselia, Metagross, Latios.
Yeah. Like, the reason Latios is good is because it's a dragon, the reason Metagross is good because of steel,
Also, Hitmonchan
But
is everywhere.
Gardevoir already is a beast.
Yeah.
Like, telepathy and ally switch is no joke, especially if you're running like a sand team or something that likes to spam Earthquake or Surf. And that way you can tank hits, because it is a pretty good special tank.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's got like 125 special attack, so it'll
Destroy
one-shot
faces.
whatever fighting types you need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And making it a fairy type, just
I mean,
like against dragons.
since they're going back and changing types, I don't know, I feel like they could almost go back and change some base stats. I want them to. I want them to revise base stats. Because some stuff is just weird. Like, they put balanced base stats that are all 70 or 60 or something. It's,
But then you have 1,000 normal flying types with the same base stats. And bug flying.
Yeah.
There was a new one of those announced.
There was.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be better than Lady Anne.
Probably not.
The one I remember there were 2 new ones announced. The one that I remember is Noivern, which is like a dragon flying.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the webpage with all the new Pokemons.
Pokemon.
Yeah, there were a handful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but before we leave the whole fairy type conversation, I just want to bring up the possibility of Cresselia Psychic Fairy.
Entirely possible. And that could prove a threat to the domination of, the dominance of Gardevoir in the metagame.
It would, I think that it would be a stupidly broken move for Game Freak to make, given the fact that Cresselia...
To make it weak to steel?
No, well, to give it
to
flying
strengthen
type.
against dragon.
To strengthen against dragon.
Yeah.
I think that...
But it still has no offensive power.
True.
And it, like, all it does is tank. That's...
Well, it would, if it was in that situation with Fairy, it would destroy OU, and it would be not a big deal in VGC, because Seal isn't a very used, like, the only thing that would kill it, and it would kill it very strongly, would be Scizor.
Well,
Or Metagross.
But Metagross isn't used in singles OU, is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
So that metagame, Cresselia
that's
would
a fictional
rise.
metagame.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. Nobody cares.
But in
plays
VGC,
OU
it would just
anyways?
get demolished. Because people use Metagross all the time.
There's no such thing as 6th Gen OU yet. So it's not breaking anything.
There's no such thing as 6th Gen VGC.
Exactly.
Yet.
Also, one more thing before we leave this subject, I'm sorry, but I am happy about Fairy type because I'm guessing that this means that there's going to be more cute Pokemon in the future.
You
We
said
need more
this.
adorable, pink, fluffy Pokemon.
Look, if they are all just pink and fluffy, we have a problem like we have with Jigglypuff and Clefairy. They're practically the same thing.
Whoa.
So cute.
Slow down.
I'm not
Jigglypuff and
against cute
Clefairy are
things.
completely different. Jigglypuff has blue eyes, Clefairy has black/brown eyes.
I'm
And
sorry.
one is
Completely
round.
different. And
They're
one
both
is
round!
slightly square-ular.
No, they're both round. They're
One
both,
looks like a
they're
marshmallow.
both round and pink. Imagine
Whatever.
the marshmallow just makes me aww.
And one of them uses metronome and explodes, and the other one sings, puts you to sleep, and then draws obscene pictures on your face.
That just gives me bad thoughts. Teenage Jigglypuff
Oh, man.
thoughts. Ew.
The one time I used Jigglypuff, it was Gravity Sing. It was hilarious.
Fidget, you are a new brand of special. Not that we had
It was a mono ghost team, and
labeled you as
this was
special.
before Sableye got Prankster Gravity, so I switched it out for a Jigglypuff.
Fidget,
And so it was 5 ghosts and a Jigglypuff.
5 ghosts and a Jigglypuff.
I feel like that should be a band name or something.
5 gage.
Anyway,
yes, that is a play on
I think the
gag.
the biggest announcement they made this morning was release date.
Oh, October 12th, right?
Did we
October
not
12th.
know that
So just
prior?
in
Because I
just
feel
in
like...
time.
Sorry.
They said October or fall-ish before.
Yeah.
Then what was
October 12th, just in time to ruin another regional.
But
Okay,
I
I
can't.
don't know.
I have
They
a Gen 6 game. Why can't I play with it? Because not everyone else has one yet.
I don't know. I'm
Because it's
kind of.
completely different. But all the Pokemon are exactly the same. No, they're not. Go home.
It can learn these moves. I swear.
You're disqualified. Because we haven't updated our hack checker yet. Sorry.
But I would wager that this would either. Actually, I think it'll move fall regionals forward a little bit into November because we've had November regionals before. It wasn't the worst thing on earth.
We
So.
have?
2011.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have winter too, but it wouldn't be terrible to have it in November instead, and maybe let us use the Gen 6 games, please. I wager I won't still be world champion at that point.
I mean, I feel terrible for saying this because I know TPCI has already gotten a ton of heat for what's happened in VGC over the past few weeks, but I don't think they care. I really don't. I think that they'll stick to the same schedule because it's the TCG schedule, and we'll just have to deal with post-Worlds regional again.
Yeah.
So it'll be Gen 5.
Gen 5.
Still.
Once again.
I don't
Really could
want
just
to.
go back and have a Gen 1 region.
Oh, please. I have my red game.
I have mine. I found my link cable the other day.
Song. I think my link cable, my link cable is sitting on my nightstand. Comfortably.
Like, I have a standard Nintendo one, and I have a Mad Catz one that goes from Game Boy to Game Boy, or from Game Boy to Game Boy Advance.
Really?
Ooh.
Which was nice.
I found my wireless adapters from the RSE days when I was cleaning a couple days
Oh,
ago.
yes. I have one plugged into my GameCube.
I think we're making all the youngins that are listening to the podcast start yawning.
This is history, folks.
Okay, so what else happened?
Yes, more Pokemon were announced. Yay!
Yeah,
Can somebody
So-
pull that up for me so I can look at them too?
I have it up here. Basically they've announced, I think maybe like 6 or 7. I could just go.
What are they?
Okay, so there's Noivern.
Paint a word picture.
Noivern, which is this like flying boombox, dragon flying Pokemon, or flying dragon, excuse me. And
Maybe
it's
that's
like,
why they thought the sound type would exist.
Maybe. There's like, it has black wings with purple tips and red claws and this weird like, white mane thing that looks kind of like Super Saiyan hair on its neck. And then its head has, 2 boombox ears with like horns on them.
So, like, Exploud?
Kind of, yeah.
Cloud.
And so far, the only information we know about it is it has a height of 4 feet 11 inches and it weighs 187.4 pounds.
So, what does that translate to in Grass Knot Low Kick? Not that you'll do either to them because it's a flying type.
It's about the 60-80 power point, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's a Pokedex description here too. The waves Neuverum emits from its ears are strong enough to reduce large boulders to rubble. And it learns the new normal type move, Boom Burst. Which, all we know is that it's normal type.
And that it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look pretty awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
We like the birds that go boom. What else was announced?
Okay, so we also have Talonflame, which is confirmed to be the evolved form of Fletchling, according to the website.
I'm still gonna name it Fletch.
It's flying. I almost said firefighting. Oh dear.
You said firefighting.
And when the battle heats up, flames will pour from its body as it zooms through the sky. And
so it has blaze.
It can learn Brave Bird. Yeah, it just knows Brave Bird.
I would wager that it would learn. If we're just gonna pick moves here, I would wager it would learn Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, and Flame Charge, and then probably gets Reckless as one of its abilities. But I could be wrong.
It sounds like it has Blaze as an ability from that description.
I mean, if you're using Blaze and then you're using recoil moves, it could be a kind of cool strat where you reduce yourself to really low health and then Flare Blitz something to that.
That would actually be pretty cool.
But I still like Focus Sash when you're using those abilities.
I mean,
just because you're alive and
Blaziken gets Flare Blitz and Brave Bird.
Yeah, but everybody uses Speed Boost on it because it's better.
Because it's not naturally fast. Stupid.
Yeah. I'm happy though with the new flying types. They sound like they're going to be powerful, which will provide another check for fighting, which will be nice.
But we already do have like some okay fire flying types.
Yeah.
Like, Moltres is pretty good.
I keep forgetting that Moltres exists.
And
I'm
Charizard
sorry.
is not the greatest, but
it does have the highest potential damage in the game. So
yeah, it's terrifying if it's played right.
Yeah.
Can Moltres check Breloom? I know that's like a stupid question, and the answer is probably yes.
With Lumberry, if Breloom's not running, like without Lumberry, if Breloom's not running a Scarf,
yeah, like it's faster and
it should be able to always beat Breloom. To be honest with you, I think the whole focus on Breloom after watching. Forgive me for going away from the announcements right now. After watching Bear Sven stream tonight, and what Scott and what Paul were saying about Breloom being overrated, I think people are way too focused on Spore and not on the fact that it has a great base attack stat and Technician.
Yeah.
So. And also everybody's running it on sand.
Yeah. I mean, I like it on sand because that's how my sand runs, and I need Breloom because Breloom. But it's not always good on sand. It's good on a lot of other things.
I like it on rain, personally, but that's just because I love running fire weak things on a rain team.
Yeah.
I also hate Volcarona, so it works out.
But, okay, back to what we were talking about with the whole...
Alright.
Okay.
What else is new?
So there's Clauncher, which is a blue and black striped lobster type Pokemon.
Super Crabhammer, anyone?
It's pure water. Use the claw to crush opponents with the water type move Crabhammer.
Oh my gosh, I'm right!
I love that move.
This powerful move is also more likely to land critical hits. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Let me check Crabhammer's current description to make sure that's the case.
Yeah.
It's like 90% accurate.
Yeah, it is, which is, it's not really that powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have an increased crit ratio. That's true.
Yeah. But I mean, out of all the new Pokemon, design-wise, this one's my favorite.
Clauncher, really?
Yeah. It's a cute little blue, yellow, and black crab thing.
That's interesting.
Or lobster thing, not a crab. It's
very
cute.
Interesting.
It's a Pokemon.
Is anybody else kind of scared of the brown one that's name starts with an S? Because I find that one creepy.
You mean Skrelp?
Yes.
What is that?
It is the poison water type Pokemon.
I was about to say, it looks like a poison water type.
It's, it honestly looks like a seahorse got stuck in kelp. Yeah, which may be where they got its name, Skrelp.
Help! Skrelp!
Skrelp can learn Sludge Bomb. which may leave the opening Pokemon poisoned. And, guys, I don't know if you knew this, but a poisoned Pokemon keeps taking damage until the end of battle.
What? It's ridiculous. Is that a new feature?
I think it's a new feature. I've never heard of it before.
Wait, doesn't it keep taking damage after the battle, though?
What?
Not anymore.
Not
no,
anymore!
I think they got rid of that.
This isn't a new feature?
I don't know. I never get poisoned.
This is weird.
I run Mono Steel.
This is weird. This is weird. I can't handle it. But no, seriously, poison water, not new. We've seen Tentacruel before. But I like what it looks like. I'm not sure what it'll turn into, because it's got the typical poison look with the depressed eyes and the thing essentially that makes Shiloh creeped out by it. But it could be a cool special attacker. Probably, I don't know if it would get nasty plot. Maybe. Be interesting to see an offensive poison type to counter fairies, and I think that that's what this is.
I'd love to see this get Swift Swim. And be basically like Poison Water Kingdra.
I really doubt it, although his appearance does remind me a lot of Kingdra. I think he looks a little bit more sluggish. I think he could still be fast, but I don't think he's Swift Swim level.
Perhaps. It's hard to say without seeing the evolution.
Yeah, we're just judging on appearance right now.
Wait, isn't there already a poison water type with Swift Swim?
Quillfish.
Yeah.
There we are. I was like...
True.
I was just blanking on the name. I knew what it was.
Yeah. When I think Quillfish, I think Intimidate, and I think, why isn't that thing used more? And then I go back to whatever other thoughts I had, because really Quillfish doesn't matter.
I like Quillfish.
See, I've been
cool.
scarred by 2006, and I just assume Swift Swim Explosion. Always.
It can do that.
I'm gonna blow up all over your face.
So, in other news, we can now interact with your Pokemon like Nintendogs, and apparently they were hinting at earlier that interacting with your Pokemon will make them like more likely to land critical hits and stuff.
Not fun!
They confirmed it. No, it's confirmed.
If that's confirmed for competitive Pokemon, I am going to be infuriated.
I don't know. That's the one thing that they haven't said. But as soon as the rich guy posted saying like, oh, play with your Pokemon, you have a better chance of getting a crit, my first thought was just a 4-letter expletive that starts with F and ends with K.
No, this is good.
Fire truck? Oh wait,
like,
that isn't 4 letters.
Like that, plus the fairy thing would buff Drapion so much because of Sniper.
Oh dear God. Oh dear
Well,
God.
I don't really think this is a problem. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
I don't like crits!
I have a 14-hour car ride to whatever regional I'm going to. I've got 14 hours in the car to play with my Pokemon until I get there. So I will get all the crits.
Shiloh, I don't
here's
like how
what
you think.
my theory is, and this is all based off speculation, because there's no way they could make crits more likely to happen than like 30%. I think that'd be ridiculous. So
I think
my theory
that much
is there's
too
going to be
much.
an additional modifier, and it's like, okay, is your friendship level maxed out to 100? Great, then you get the full 30% chance of a crit. Is it not? Okay, then you get
30% is ridiculous. It basically gives you the chance to hit a one-hit KO move whenever you attack. I mean, come on! You're basically using Fissure whenever you use Earthquake. Nonetheless, AoE Fissure.
I'm fairly certain that there will be like a cap, like the playing with them will get them to their max friendship level, and then when they reach there, they reach the max critical hit level, which I'm not sure what it'll be in this game. I'm gonna guess like 15%. That seems like a kind of a decent number, I guess.
I think 15% is still too much. I'm kind of hoping if it does affect competitive
I want to hope
play,
that
it caps at like 7% or 5% or
yeah.
nothing at all.
I want it to be like whatever it is right now.
7.
Like that's the max.
Yes.
Like make that the max, and if you're not that high, then you can have a less
But
crit chance.
who knows? It may not even
better.
get into competitive play, so we may not even have to worry about this extremely bad problem.
But yeah,
Wait, hold on a second.
the weird thing about this whole Pokemon and me thing is that not all Pokemon look like cute little animals. So you get into some real creepy
I
territory.
wouldn't mind
Especially,
petting
like-
my Kingdra or my Muck.
Well, yeah, that's all fine, but then you got the people, like, playing around with Jinx.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
And then it's just one of those Japanese games that you don't talk about.
Oh god, you get to pet them wherever you want.
Oh my god. Okay. So here's my thing about that Pokemon and Me thing. You know how they said that like Pokemon you interact with in Pokemon and Me may like follow you into battle? What if it's just like Dream Radar where you can only get like certain Pokemon, thus avoiding the whole Jinx?
I don't know, it'd be kind of nice to brush my Jinx's hair.
So that's what they're calling it these days.
Sorry.
Oh god.
I mean, the Pokemon they showed in the Pokemon and Me thing were so far Pokemon that they have not shown in X and Y. I mean, okay, obviously...
They've shown Zoroark.
Okay, so
They did
Zoroark
it for
and
Zoroark?
Pikachu.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
In the trailer
They've
this morning.
shown lots of battles with Zoroark, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently Zoroark's still fan favorite Zoroark.
There's that, and then the graphics engine running it just looks slightly different. I don't know, maybe it's just because we haven't seen, like, the high-quality models.
I mean,
that we're
it'd be a
gonna use.
it'd be a mess to
close-up
put together a Me sprite.
Bottom screen.
600, no, more than 600 at this point. Like, imagine the programming and things involved in making all those graphics.
Yeah,
All
I
those
think it'd
extra
be...
graphics for one little feature that may not even be in actual competitive play.
Yeah, so they're either gonna do it that way, or maybe you can just, like, import your Pokemon from X and Y into Pokemon and Me, and then you can only hold, like, 6 at a time in there or whatever.
Yeah.
That could also be a possibility.
Maybe it'll be like My Pokemon Ranch, because that was what I was expecting when I bought it.
Oh.
Honestly,
you'd be
it
able to
reminds me
pet your
more of,
horsies.
like, Channel or Hey You Pikachu or something.
Horsey
I'm
is
really
cute.
dating myself.
That was
tonight.
a little bit before my time, Gabby.
Yeah,
I know,
I'm
I'm
kind of
just
sad that
dating
I wasn't
myself
part of the
all over the
Pokemon
place.
Snap era.
I found my Pokemon Snap card, so I have that. Yeah, I've got that in my wallet right now. The little memory card.
Wait, the ones that you got from Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I still have one of those too. I have the purple Pikachu one.
I have Squirtle.
Nice.
Oh my god, back in time.
They are so old.
Hey, I mean, it kind of makes me jelly. You know? Kind of makes me jealous
I
and
found my
kind of fatter, more Pringles related.
1999 Pikachu stapler.
We should get back into... This is the most odd podcast. We come on to talk about all the new stuff and we start talking about way back in time.
Fidget and I are just old, I think. I mean,
mean,
I have like one
I'm
of those
decently
Burger
old,
King
too.
Pokeballs that were recalled on my desk right here.
Yeah. I've
Just
got a
old.
bunch of those. I've got the like squirt gun things that they gave,
Wait,
like the toys that they were giving out then.
dude.
I've got a Kabuto and a Polywag,
Guys, on topic.
and they're guarding my shampoo.
No,
right
no,
now.
this is on topic. My Pokemon Snap card was like right next to my computer and I didn't even see it there.
Nice.
Okay, now we can go back to the actual topic.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
new Pokemon.
new Pokemon.
Not as cool as Kabuto and Poliwag.
I think there's only
Squirt
one more.
water.
I think this is going to
actually.
be a cool generation. I've liked pretty much all the designs we've gotten so far. I think the kind of monotone color scheme of black and white is not following into this, which is nice. I didn't like the color scheme they used for it. Doesn't leave many memorable things.
I did. I
Well,
really love Sigilif.
Sigilif is like a problem Pokemon in my mind. It's just like, there. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I have to say is Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr.
You mean Conkeldurr?
Conkeldurr.
I think you mean Conkeldurr.
So,
Conkeldurr.
were there any other new Pokemon?
Yes, there was just the bug flying one that started the conversation.
Was there?
Vivillon. Or Vivillon.
You
I'm
mean
not
the
sure how you say
butterfly?
that. Yes.
Butterfly!
Moth? Is it a butterfly or is it a moth?
It looks like it's a moth with butterfly wings and pixels in its eyes.
Interesting.
It's like, I'm getting a little bit of a
Okay.
digital vibe from it. And,
That sounds awesome.
Vivillon can use its wings to blow up a strong wind to attack. Attack with Vivillon's Struggle Bug move, which lowers its target's special attack. It's useful for long battles.
Struggle bug.
Not PGC.
Move.
It's basically Snarl.
And also, according to the, intro text, Vivillon is said to have a secret hidden in the colorful decorative patterns on its wings. So,
Ooh,
I wonder
it
if
could
it's gonna be
secretly
like-
be a legendary Pokemon. No.
I wonder if it's gonna be like a Spindo, like where they're all different based on their IVs.
It would almost be cool for it to have a secret evolution that they don't mention when they release the game.
I would
People
love
would
it.
find it immediately.
if
I know
they-
people would, but it'd be cool. You know? Like,
I'd
whoa, my
love it.
Vivillon is evolving. Why? Oh my god, it's Ernie!
It'd be like Butterfrat. Okay, I'm just dating myself again.
What is
There
that?
was back in the day of Red and Blue, there was this rumor that if you beat the Elite Four like 7 times with a team of all Butterfree, Professor Oak would invite you into the secret lair of his lab and evolve your 6th Butterfree into Butterfrat, the Pokegod. You can't make
That's
this up.
so fake.
There was a lot of that going around back then.
Yeah, Mew
Oh,
Blue.
those are the days.
I heard a rumor
Mew
back
3.
when I played
Stupid truck.
the
Okay,
other
no,
games.
no room.
That you could
No,
find
let's
some way
Stay
to
on
go
topic
back.
so I don't have to
Ah,
spend a day
ah!
editing.
Okay,
this. We're
on
already
topic.
at 40 minutes.
That was painful. I don't like going
On
back.
topic.
Back
This is
on
my-
topic.
This is definitely
God,
my
that hair. Like, man. Like,
I think he's
the game
referring to
looks
Bayon.
great, and, like, Bayonetta's already crazy, but, like, for some reason, that new haircut. is just-
Alright, Fidget. We get it.
The lava
But
pool.
anyways-
Getting
They could
into
put her
the
in the new
core
Smash
issues
Brothers.
of the
That was-
Pokemon franchise.
Okay, but seriously, aesthetically speaking, my favorite butterfly Pokemon so far. It's very pretty.
It has a very soothing color scheme. The pink and blue and white it works.
Yes, and it doesn't have those creepy eyes that Butterfree has. It looks so happy, and I like that. I like
Butterfree's eyes are
things.
cute.
No, no.
No, stop.
Okay. So, other than new Pokemon, what did we get?
Okay,
Other
So-
than new Pokemon.
I'm just gonna start scrolling up the guy's Twitter
Can I
feed and...
can I
Oh,
volunteer?
go for it. Yes.
I just raised my hand. Why? Apparently, I'm not sure how open this will be with you playing songs, but apparently you're allowed to decide which music you play for your battles online. This is amazing.
Before each battle?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can just choose Queen of Rose every time?
Yeah. I mean, it might be that it's locked into songs that you play in the game, but there are good songs in Pokemon games, decently. I've liked a lot of the stuff from Mystery Dungeon before, and some of the things from Black and White too. I think I've liked.
Yeah.
I like the Lance battle theme from Pokemon Stadium 2.
That was a pretty good one, actually. On the same kind of line of music, they're also gonna, all the music that's in the game is less, compressed, so you'll be hearing the benefit of the 3DS full orchestration, which just makes
Okay.
me really,
Nice.
really,
Okay.
really
Yes.
happy.
So I don't have to
this is
spend
what I thought.
$60 to import a 5-disc set from Japan.
Hopefully not.
Not that
I mean,
did
oh
that.
my god. The
I
Pokemon
did
music can be
that.
so complex and beautiful in some ways because it's
Yes.
all actually orchestrated music. So as I was saying about the battle music, if we're not keeping it to the same, because I find that if you listen to it on headphones even, it's a better quality than you would hear it otherwise. So the quality jump, I guess uncompressed, and if you listen to Fire Emblem's music, it's really good. it's exciting that the music's going to be better, because if you have good music, the game changes.
It really does.
Until you just turn on a music player and mute your game.
Forgive me for being a music nerd.
Yeah.
JTK is more of a music nerd than I am for this kind of thing, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear where this is gonna lead. It was okay. Anyways.
Anyway.
So, just kind of going through features really quickly. They confirmed that you can grind rails when you rollerblade, which I think is pretty cool. So
wait, rollerblades?
Yeah.
Rollerblades. There are rollerblades.
There's gonna be rollerblades and a bike.
I've
and
not heard of this.
And go-go.
I think you can
And Ride-On.
And Ride-On.
Oh yeah, and
Apparently, you can ride Pokemon in different areas, and based on what Pokemon you ride in which area, it'll have a different benefit. This might be a replacement for HMs.
Apparently, you can ride on. I'm done. That was my pun for the evening. I'm done.
Ride on.
HM carry.
I would like to see HMs go away altogether. I don't like them.
I think that the concept of an HM slave is just too overdone at this point.
Stupid. Think of a 5-year-old saying, HM, you're stupid.
I don't have to think of it. I just got it.
I'm looking at a list of questions and answers.
Okay. Shoot a question, then give the answer.
One of these. I've got to find one that's good.
Oh, wait. While you search, we still got to cover the PSS. Which has huge implications on VGC right now, I think. But that's...
The what?
So they're overhauling the online battle and trading system, and they're renaming it the player search system, or the PSS. Or as the Zero Virus said earlier, like, please stop sucking or whatever.
PSS!
Anyways.
Sorry.
So basically, it's kind of like the Animal Crossing friend system, where it tags people in there based off of like Street Pass, or you can enter in friend codes. If you have friend codes in there already, it'll just import them. And then depending on how many times you interact with them, they become like a friend, or acquaintance, or like a best friend. So, basically it means that there's going to be a new battle system and a new GTS system, which means goodbye pokecheck. Unless they crack it again, which could be possible, but I don't think they will. Unfortunately.
I don't know. People are pretty smart.
Well, is this for like random Wi-Fi?
This is for random
like battles?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just play my friends when I go on random.
I think that they're gonna allow you to like search for players from like a certain region or something, or just do all.
Okay.
So I mean, it's kind of confusing because, I mean, what this person's saying is hold on, where is it? Oh, I lost it. Anyway, you can find people from everywhere across the world, and it sounds like they'll probably give you like, okay, I want to find a female trainer from, I don't know, Europe, something to battle with. Or
wouldn't we all like to find a girl from Europe?
I know, right?
To pet this Jinx with.
No, silly, we're petting Mr. Mime.
And it does sound like, though, that they're keeping the same system where you can do random Wi-Fi battles with different metagames, or, I don't know, what have you. It's hard to say without hearing what actually was said in the press conference, but I think it's safe to say, like, at least for trading and stuff, the GTS is going to be redone, and, there probably will be no more pokecheck.
That would make me very, very, very sad.
Yeah, me too.
Because pokecheck was essential in essentially upping the game. of
Yeah.
players.
I think Game Freak would be or the Pokemon Company too, would be very stupid to remove something like pokecheck, even if it's not their tool, and expect competitive play to kind of continue on as it is, which is why I think that, there was a Q&A question about the EV and IV system. Maybe you're looking at it,
Yeah.
Dimsun. I don't know.
Do you want me to read that for you?
Yeah, why don't you just read it?
Please.
Alright, so what's asked here is, with IVs and EVs, it's been very difficult to catch the right Pokemon, and it is time consuming. Have you considered tweaking the formula to save player time? The answer says, silence, deep in thought. Those are obviously in parentheses. Didn't expect anyone to talk about that today. And he laughs. In Pokemon X and Y, we are going to make these hidden specs more visible and easier for players to access. One thing we know is that IVs and EVs still exist. Dang it.
My theory is that, if Pokemon Me really works with everything, like all the Pokemon that you can get, that's gonna be how you change your EVs and your IVs. I mean, one of the Pokebeach
There's gotta be a way to change IVs now, because...
Yeah, there has to be.
Why does there have to be?
Because it's so hard to get what's essentially necessary for a competitive match. And when you get to the point in IVs, essentially, where you're breeding for stuff, if you just happen to be less lucky than your opponent breeding for something, and they have max stats in something where you don't, then you could be in a very troubling situation.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I'm
like,
aware of
it's
that.
an unfair competition situation.
But the question here is, does the Pokemon Company care?
I think that
they
if
should.
They want to expand their brand to competitive players, they should. And I think...
If they're adding a new type to balance out how everything's going right now, then they know about how important IVs are.
Yeah. And I think that it's a good system, and I like the whole idea that it makes every Pokemon, quote unquote unique, because if you just run into one in the wild, it has these 6 random values that no other Pokemon will probably have unless you RNG or something. But if they want competitive to expand, then they need to
make it fair
invent
for
a new make it fair for everyone. They need to balance the playing field. I mean, it's the number one complaint for people, I think, who aren't kind of in our circle about PGC, is that all of us RNGers have this unfair advantage.
And I mean, it certainly should seem that way. Like, we're in a position of power in terms of having higher quality stuff. There goes something I was holding in my hands.
Even just think back to last year before Pokecheck took off. I mean,
it was a mess trying to get a team together.
Yeah.
Like, you had to go to this trader and this trader and the other trader and the trader before that, and do you have this and that? And do you have the other one? Do you have this and that? Oh.
Yeah, 2010, I didn't engage with anyone because, all the trade threads were had this, 900 words of legal, don't even talk to me if you don't have your own thread and all this other stuff. It's what?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And
then the people who were giving away stuff for free, trying to be nice people, end up getting so stressed out by this activity that they don't really play much. Bioside didn't like it, Cassie didn't like it. It's not fair. It's not fair to anyone that they have to do this to get the competitive quality that everyone should have. It's not, it's worse than hacks. Almost.
Yeah.
Because you can do something about hacks. You can't really do something about whether or not you get something in time for an event.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting argument, too, because, for those listeners who may remember, I was involved with the PAX Pokemon League, for PAX East, and I'm going to be there again for PAX Prime, and they're actually dealing with this whole, what should we do about RNGing right now argument. And being someone who's been involved with RNGing pretty much since day one, I've kind of completely forgotten about the other side of the argument. And just seeing how, upset people get over the fact that these Pokemon that they've spent 20, 30 hours breeding for and training can't beat something that someone who knows how to RNG got in 5 minutes because they RNG'd it. There's a lot of emotion there.
I mean,
I think
it should be as easy for easy for everyone as it is for RNGers. Because, I mean, I know it sounds a little ridiculous to some people who might not be at the same competitive level that a lot of us here are. But, I've lost my train of thought here. But honestly, there are enough things in the world to keep you busy, and I don't want to be spending a day of my time. I don't think anyone wants to be spending a day of their time breeding for something that, honestly, it's really up to who makes the game how hard it is to do. And it's almost saddening to see people who have 999 hours into the game, which is more than you would spend on any other game, it seems like, you know? Like,
yeah.
That's ridiculous. People don't have that much, the Call of Duty nerds don't have that much time into their Call of Duty games.
Yeah, they do.
20 days is a lot in Call of Duty, and 20 isn't 999 hours.
Yeah,
so,
but kind of steering back to the original point, I think we'll see either Pokemon ME introducing some sort of system to control EVs and IVs, or we'll see, just for competitive play, there's going to be an option that allows you to auto IV, just like you auto level. So automatically, when you enter battle, all Pokemon get rounded up to 31 or whatever. Which would eliminate some of the creativity, and I think it'd hurt like Trick Room teams a lot. But it would also make the playing field fair.
Well, not really. I mean, I personally think that if they went with that system, it would be smarter for them to auto round IVs. So, like, if you're running
Yeah.
But then they're still there.
That's a good point. But then you just have to worry, okay, is this greater than or less than 15? Which I think is pretty easy to do, relatively speaking. I'd be willing to spend an hour hatching eggs per Pokemon, to get something that had, like, I don't know, 16, 16, 16, 16, 14. Which would then round to, like, all 31s except for a 0 in speed. I think that's fair.
Also, I hate Trick Room, so, even if they don't imply that...
Well, Shiloh, not everyone is you.
As an avid Trick Room aficionado.
Aficionado, I think.
Oh. And on
Whatever.
Another note, I think that you guys are giving them way too much credit, and I'm very skeptical that they actually care to that extent. Like,
I mean, we could easily
true.
be doing that, but I personally am hopeful that they do something for people.
I am hopeful. I'm skeptical because, yeah, they're addressing our complaint about the dragons, but then again, they already did this in Gen 1 with the psychics, and I don't think that they cared about competitive play back then because it didn't exist, so I'm not really taking this as evidence that they are actually really.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm just hopeful. I'm hopeful that now that they have a tournament circuit, they can see how this would play an impact into this, and I'm sure they get lots of angry letters from people who don't know how to RNG.
Yeah, but yeah, but you see, if we can't RNG and they can't RNG, the playing field is kind of even.
We can RNG, we just can't pokecheck. I mean, the game has to use something to generate Pokemon, so I'm assuming that RNG will still be usable.
Oh.
It just limits availability.
Alright, so anything else big?
Let's see.
Small?
In between.
There was Sky Battles and Hordes we could talk about.
Okay.
Oh yes, Sky Battles.
Okay, what is a Sky Battle?
The in-game battles that are limited to mostly flying types and levitators.
So Cresselia can Sky Battle.
In theory.
What do you do in that?
It's an in-game type of battle where you use those types of Pokemon.
And it looks pretty cool. They're both up in the air, all floating.
Yeah.
So it's just a regular battle, just in the air.
Kind of boring.
You're not like.
It sounds
flying
like a
now
it's a
horde
one-on-one.
battle.
Sorry.
No,
It sounds
continue.
like it's just a one-on-one battle that has some cool flying. Whee! Oh wait, they have screenshots of a Sky Battle on the Pokemon website, and it literally just looks like there's flying Pokemon in the air.
Okay.
Oh, there's something else about the music.
there is?
Someone named Ash asks, what do you prioritize when making music, and are you looking to add new musical styles? And the answer to that was, we want to take the style of streaming music. The feeling of music will be quite different. The music that we create in our production environment will be able to play directly on the 3DS. We aren't restricted by game limitations. Hehehe.
Oh, hey, I think they also confirmed the new trainer names. I'm looking at a screenshot and...
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
yeah, they did.
Trainers have names?
Yeah.
named.
Xavier and Yvonne.
Yvonne?
Yvonne.
That's a funny name.
I mean, they're French. They're very French names. Xavier.
Stop now. Javier.
So, you heard it here first on the lava pool. The new trainers are apparently named Xavier and Yvonne.
So X and Y.
Yvonne. Oh, hey, X and... Oh, that's terrible.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about hordes.
Hordes. 5-on-1 battles, where all the enemies are weak. This will either be awesome or just annoying.
Really annoying.
Yeah,
really
it
annoying.
sounds like it's gonna be annoying.
Wait for it.
Like, oh, now you have to kill 5 of them.
No,
Wait
Yeah,
for
it
it.
looks hilarious, like the screenshots
5
I saw.
Zubats.
no,
Oh, no.
5 Magikarps.
Synchronized blocks. Discharge blocks.
5 boulders, and they all have sturdy.
Oh dear God, why?
And you have to target them one by one by one by one by one. I thought that probably sounded really scary.
They all know Fisher too. So each turn.
You are in theoretical possibility of losing on every turn.
Would you like to use the next Pokemon? No! Too bad.
You can't run. One of them happens to have Arena Trap. We won't tell you which one. Fuck!
Alright, I personally need to finish up before midnight. Just,
Yeah,
because
it's getting late.
Yeah,
So
this
any other big
important-
news? Anything competitive?
Well, apparently it
Anything
was in
not
fact
competitive?
accidentally based mostly on France. They weren't
Wait,
supposed
what?
to tell anyone that.
Okay.
It is actually based on France. They weren't supposed to tell anyone, but it is.
Wait, it takes place in France?
No,
God.
it's based
Yeah, well, it's
based on
based
France.
on France.
But that tower looked nothing like the Eiffel Tower. I'm so confused.
It says, okay, the question says, how would you know, how would you choose to base why would you choose to base the Pokemon world in France? And this person is just assuming that it's based in France. And the answer is, how did you know it was France? And the question was, it looks a lot like France. The answer was, the region is based on France because it's one of the many countries that have a focus on beauty, a major theme we want to explore in the world. I think that's important. Actually, we weren't supposed to admit France was an inspiration. Whoops. Laughs.
What?
I think the importance of
Because the whole game, you're just gonna make fun of France.
Oh.
Without actually saying France. And now they've said it, so they gotta take all their jokes out.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it's
too bad.
a major, the beauty being a major theme we want to explore in the world. This could be cool. This could lead to Wii U because it could lead to a very, very beautiful console game.
Maybe they'll
Which would be
have
nice.
like a theme that has to do with beauty and being less shallow or something. Maybe they're finally going to do some storytelling stuff.
As if they
can
didn't
we,
do storytelling
more
stuff.
Pokemon beauty pageants.
Can we go out on a limb and just say that Pokemon contests are going to be back, and then say Gen 3 remakes confirmed?
No, Gabby.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Alright, I think we've gone over most of what we want to go over here.
Okay.
Right?
Have we? Again, like, I haven't looked at all this news.
I mean, most of it.
Well, the stuff that we care. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I really care about.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
Okay, so to recap, we have riding on more than just Go-Go.
Rhyhorn.
Rhyhorn. We have...
Oh, apparently, Sky Battles give a high amount of money.
Okay.
So that's
We've
what
got
they're
Sky
for?
Battles, we've got Horde, we've got a bunch of new Pokemon, we have a release date, Bayonetta cut her hair. Anything else?
Scroll was announced. Not Brawl, excuse me.
We didn't
Bros.
cover the Wii Fit Trainer, guys.
Oh
Could
my,
we?
the beautiful paleness.
I haven't seen this at all, and I don't care.
Feel the burn!
Neither did I.
Shiloh, you have problems.
Oh yeah, they delayed a bunch of games.
Yeah, all in 2014.
That had nothing to do with Pokemon. Yeah, nothing good comes out this year. Oh, except X and Y, maybe.
Hopefully.
Watch that
I'm
get
guessing
delayed.
these will be really good games based on all we discussed tonight. They could be awesome.
Could be.
Or they could be like Black and White 2, where they try to please everyone and don't quite do it.
Yeah, I remember almost nothing of Black and White 2. Even though one of my cards has almost 800 hours on it now.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Wow.
See?
Yeah, I think it just stays on like all the
And
time.
21,
There's no way
21
I'm
hours is a
nowhere near
lot
that.
for Call of Duty players.
And that's just one of my cards.
I'm impressed.
All right. So, how much other stuff do we think they're going to announce just for E3?
We'll see.
Like anything
I think this
at this
is
point?
it.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do a lot more stuff for Pokemon. But it's exciting nonetheless. It's nice to hear all this cool stuff. I want to see more of the new Pokemon. I want my Levitating Ghost Steel type.
I mean,
Now,
wait, I forgot.
Like, the actual show floor opened up today, so do you think they have like a demo version on
That would
there
be
that
cool.
we might get to see stuff from?
I think they might, but I think that there might be something else on Pokemon Smash this weekend. I completely forgot about it until you asked if they were going to announce anything else.
More guys dressed as Eevees.
Hopefully. Hopefully. And then after that, I think we probably won't hear anything until the movie comes out in Japan.
Ew, movie.
Isn't that...
There's a movie?
Yeah, there's a movie with the new Mewtwo form in it.
No. Ooh, we should
Alright.
have another Skype session where we make fun of it when it comes out in America.
As we watch it,
As we watch it.
Yes.
the entire Magma should do it. Alright, guys. I think that's all for tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been Dimsun.
Oh, I'm Shiloh.
I'm JTK.
And I'm Dr. Fidget, and we will see you next time on The Lava Pool. And I'm Dr. Fidget, and we'll see you next time
Fidget!
on the lava pool.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut all that out.
Aww.
All of it.
And then put it in after the...
Dr. Fidget! Okay, don't do that. That would be bad. I'm trying too hard. Way too hard.